so big and confident and strong in that post.
Quick release by Artest, looking for another three. Brad Miller takes it away. Artest one more time. Switch 3 for a quarter. And Artest finally bangs it down on the third.
You know, that's what you have to watch out for. You knock down a few of those threes, you got to make sure you still defend. You know, remember Memphis, when you knock down shots early, you don't knock them down late. You got to guard against that.
Garnett forces it inside, and he's fouled there by Jermaine O'Neal. So a three-point barrage by Indiana in the first 3.5 minutes.
Reggie had made a couple threes, so he was able to get to the basket. Ron Artest gets the size of three up, knocks it down.
Pacers extend their early lead to 13-6, and Kevin Garnett now at the line. Here's Garnett, who against Houston has 17 points and 15 rebounds, and considered it a bad game because he turned the ball over 6 times. Houston led by, Minnesota led Houston by 7 points with 1:02 to go. They would turn the ball over 4 times, miss 3 foul shots. Houston scored the last 8 points to win it 96-95, and that was the last straw for Garnett, who says, I don't point fingers, I just look at myself in the mirror, because as Garnett goes, so go the Timberwolves. Hard drive by O'Neal, and he finishes.
Nice job by the Pacers to break that press and then attack the basket.
Minnesota, in their 5 losses, been scoring under 90 points per ball game, and this is the 5th leading scoring team in the NBA, one of 5 that average 100 points a game. Zerbiak, no, but Nesterovic is there. Zerbiak really struggling with his shooting. A 50% shooter, one of the best in the league, but over the last 5 games, a shade under 40% from the floor. Artest stops and pops. Got it.
He likes it if he can get you going, rocking back, particularly if he can get going to the left side.
Gary Trent had a flagrant foul in the Houston game, then was tossed with an ejection and took a folder off the scores table, flung it onto the floor, and today was fined $3,000 for that move, although the flagrant foul was rescinded. So tonight you have Zerbiak getting back, 2 very combustible players against one another in Artest and Trent, and Zerbiak makes the play at one end, concludes it at the other. An all-star this season in his 3rd year out of Miami of Ohio. And the Wolves back to within 3. Zerbiak not known for his defense, and Reggie Miller off to the quick start. We'll let O'Neal take it, try to get Garnett into some foul trouble. Garnett, though, with the rejection. He has over 100 blocked shots. He does it all.
He is very athletic, very long. Good for Jermaine to see someone like this. He's got to learn he can come with that left hand. That particular play against Kevin Garnett.
Nesterovic steps out. And out is Tinsley, off and running. What a sensational game he had. Oh, too hot to handle. It was right there. But a bullet pass off of Miller.
Yeah, that's one of those that you better be ready for, Brad, because Jamal throws them without looking at you sometimes.
3-point lead for the Pacers on the road. Indiana in the 7th spot in the East as Phillips ties it up. He has hit over 100 from downtown this season. Very much a threat from there against LA in a game. He hit 7 of 8. He's hit 5 1/4 from Threesville. And the Wolves now on a 7-0 run have tied it up. Tinsley comes back for a 3. And now Billups the other way. Billups on the run, bumps with Tinsley. Miller scraps for it. Indiana now racing the other way. Miller fires for 3. Right on line. Miller again. And he'll be called for a foul. So Reggie Miller looking as a combination shooting guard, point guard here in the first quarter. Timeout in mini. The Pacer killer. They'll be at Conseco Fieldhouse. First 3,000 fans, 15 and under, will receive a Jeff Foster growth chart, and that is courtesy of Milk and the Indiana Pacers. There's a number to call for tickets Sunday at 2:30. Pacers and the Hawks. The dish. Garnett is open. And ripping it down is Artest. Pacers have missed their last 4 attempts. Scoreless in the last 2.5 minutes. Minnesota started this season, won 19 of their first 21 at home. Tinsley, no, and way upstairs to the rebound is Garnett. But since that time, they've really leveled off at the target center, having won 4 and losing 5 over the course of the last 9 games. Garnett, the weaving in traffic.
How about that for 7 feet? Change directions from left to right, get inside, able to get up over O'Neal and Miller.
And the scoring continues for Minnesota. Now it's Miller guarded by Anthony Peeler, who has checked in for Billups. Or check that Billups is in there. Trent goes out. And Jermaine O'Neal gets his second. Well, he's back on the road. That last 3-game road trip, Jermaine had averaged 26 points and 13 rebounds per game. Garnett outside. Brad Miller watching him. He goes for 3 and can even do that.
It's just amazing to watch him play, particularly when he gets going on a roll. Pacers can't get caught doing that.
Brad Miller, his second field goal. Last few games, he's actually been splitting time. Jeff Foster getting more PT. Miller only 17 minutes against Golden State. That his low in 11 games with Indiana. Zerbiak continues to look for a shot.
Oh, you gotta get out there. He's hot. That's not even a heat check. He's just on catching it, looking to put it down.
Last game against Indiana here, 34 points and 20 rebounds for Garnett. 9 quickly in this first quarter, 9 points. Artest double team, now hemmed in. Finds Tinsley, the no-look, and another no-look.
Great ball movement. Really good ball movement from the baseline on the right out to 3-point shot, back in, and twice get it to Miller.
And this one is starting off the way all the other ones have ended. These teams play each other just 2 times a year, but for some reason they have an intense and heated rivalry that generally produces overtime games or last-second thrillers. Brad Miller, 4 field goals, 8 points. Miller time in the first quarter. 8 for Brad, 8 for Reggie. Garnett again wide open, and again he hits 4 of 6 from the field. 11 for Garnett, who's been over the 30 mark on 9 occasions with a high of 37. We're just kind of putting that on the table early. O'Neal, another rejection by Garnett. O'Neal, this one he gets, so he fights his way through.
Well, now he's learning that's the way he's going to have to play against somebody like Garnett, who is as agile and actually a little taller.
Points galore. We still have a little over 2 minutes to go in the first. Peeler, a good 3-point shooter, and O'Neal lines up the rebound. Tinsley had 15 assists in the first meeting against the T-Wolves. Goes all the way. Oh, crunches to the canvas. A foul is called on Minnesota. Tinsley bounces back up, and when we come back, Jamal Tinsley should be at the foul line. From all angles, getting the outside shot and taking it, and he's 4 of 6 from the floor. 11 points. He is the 3rd leading double-doubles player in the league, and it has been an automatic against the Pacers going back to last year. First game, the double overtime game in Indiana, he went 50 minutes, and that's actually a modest double-double in 50 minutes. One of his best games as a pro came against the Pacers here last season in another overtime affair with 34 points and 20 rebounds. Jamal Tinsley, what a game he had the first time against Minnesota. Look at those minutes. One of the great lines this season. 6 steals to go along with 15 assists, 9 rebounds, 12 points, and 5 block shots in 51 minutes of a double overtime affair. And in a game in which the Pacers played without Jermaine O'Neal. Jeff Foster is in for the first time, looking to annoy Kevin Garnett. But instead, Foster gets his first personal foul. And this is one area in which the feisty one can try to do what he can to turn Kevin Garnett off his game. Tinsley is out, and Jonathan Bender and Kevin Ollie are now in. Garnett saw quite a bit of Jeff Foster in the game in Indianapolis, and one of the reasons he had only 24 points in 50 minutes. So Garnett now to the foul line, where he shoots at 81%. Well, weeknights beginning at 5 on WB4. Jerry, all part of the Daily Dilemmas on the Jerry Springer Show. That weeknights at 5 on WB4. Garnett all of 25. And Isaiah Thomas has seen Garnett blow out of the gate with 13 points in the first quarter. The double team. Number 25, Mark Jackson, the newest T-Wolf. Reggie Miller looks for his third three. And another rebound by Garnett. And this is the fourth of the evening. Zerbiak off the big screen from Jackson, who came over from Golden State. Here is Jackson reaching up. Foster scraps for it and puts it into the hands of Kevin Ollie. Jonathan Bender, who has been instant offense for Indiana. Foster, another rebound in a crowd. And Foster just kind of clearing ground to get in position to haul that down.
He will do that. Foster is always active, and it's that activity that gives him an opportunity to make some good plays. Here it just goes and gets a tough rebound, tries to go back up, reach on the inside, puts Foster on the line.
Kevin Garnett goes out, gets the breather with 13 points. Final minute of the first quarter. And Foster swishes in the first two-point ball game. Jeff Foster, who has played half a game in the last two after just seeing 9 and 7 minutes in Philadelphia and Memphis. And his scrappiness brings the Pacers to within one. Flip Saunders, who spent 7 years in the CBA before becoming the head coach of Minnesota, and now one of the well-respected coaches in the league. Coached the Goodwill games over the summer, had Jermaine O'Neal there. Phillips, a fadeaway, got it.
Tough shot coming off that screen. Thought it was pretty well defended, but Phillips is primarily a scorer who's learned to become a bit of a playmaker.
He has scored 20 or more in 10 games this season. And that is out of bounds. Rare turnover. Pacers with only 3. How about Minnesota? A 5-game losing streak. They've been turning the ball over 18 times a game. They have only 1 in the first period. Phillips rushing it. Peeler, the veteran, sneaks in. And he gets the benefit of a friendly rim. The Wolves lead it 35-30. And Indiana will get the last shot. Kevin Ollie, who will be featured tonight at halftime. The adventures of the well-traveled Kevin Ollie. Pacers happy that he has traveled into an Indiana uniform. Turning, twisting, sets up Foster for 3. Oh, almost had it, which would have been his second of the season. But that ends a high-scoring first quarter. 65 points on the board in the first 12 minutes.
Around just enough where Smith couldn't get back to Jermaine's shot.
Zerbiak, Foster watching him. Now it is Jackson, the turnaround short. You know, in the first game, the double overtime win by Minnesota in Indiana back in December, or rather back in November. Pacers without O'Neal. And in that game, Al Harrington at 25 points, career high as O'Neal goes in. Al shooting 11 of the 15 from the floor.
Al was warm, to say the least.
Peeler being watched by Jonathan Bender. The big pick outside, Jackson. So Mark Jackson, whose name was mentioned as becoming a possible Pacer while Golden State was trying to find him a new home. They sent him to Minnesota. for a song. Dean Garrett in a second-round draft pick. There is Jackson, one of the fine rookies last year with the Warriors. Zerbiak, Crozier and Bender were there. Crozier arguing the call against him by the referee, Mark Wonderland.
Good effort by Crozier to get back. And that's what you want to do. Jermaine tried to throw it inside. Mark Jackson, who you had spoken about, got his hands on it, pushed up by Billups, and then Crozier tries to get back. They felt there was contact on the head, so they make the call. Austin gets back.
A good hustle there by Crozier and Bender. Indiana trying to make a push in the last month of the season, and perhaps from the Golden State game, and now you see Bender and Crozier on together with Kevin Ollie and Foster, that a prop developing, and the players off the bench certainly was there against the Warriors. Zerbiak, the 2 foul shots, and Minnesota leads it by 3. Kevin Ollie quarterbacking. The only starter on the floor is Jermaine O'Neal.
Well, he's now facing a 2-3 zone, and you have to know where the options are. Good pass by Jermaine. Good positioning by Jeff Foster down under the rim.
Though Jermaine O'Neal has been looking like Jamal Tinsley here tonight. Several beautiful passes resulting in baskets, and Indiana to within 1. Billups, Ollie may have gotten a piece of that. Foster tips it in the corner, retrieved by Billups for 3. 10 points in a hurry for Billups in his 5th season out of Colorado. This already is the 5th team that he has played on, and he has found a home here with Flip Saunders. Hard drive by Ollie and a beauty.
Good read by Ollie. Was able to get to the paint before any of the Wolves could stop him. Jeff Foster with those ever-flicking hands.
Zerbiak trying to find room. Foster shuts him down, and it creates a turnover. Ollie being hounded from behind. O'Neal looking again for the assist. Crozier from downtown. Got it. Austin Crozier picking up where he left off when he burned the Warriors for 19 points, including 3 three-pointers. And Indy has come out to hit its first 5 shots in the second quarter and have taken the lead. The bench doing it again here early. Timeout, Minnesota. Get a chance to meet several of the Pacers, new Pacers, Brad Miller and Ron Mercer, also Primoz Brezets from 6 to 7 p.m. They'll be signing autographs at the home court gift shop at Conseco Fieldhouse. You can get an autograph. Also stock up on some Pacer gear for the playoffs. That's March 27th at the home court gift shop at Conseco Fieldhouse. Well, you better believe Kevin Garnett is back on the floor. Indiana with Garnett resting, making a run, and Garnett gets right back at it. 15 for Garnett, and the Wolves back in front after they lost the lead. On the run, charged up by the Pacer bench. Number 5 for Minnesota, William Avery, point guard spot. Crozier now against Garnett. Wheels to the baseline. 5 seconds to shoot. He's backing up. He's got to put it up over Jackson. And run down by Joe Smith. Now it is Avery in his 3rd season out of Duke. He's been a disappointment his first couple of years, a first-round draft pick. Mark Jackson, who certainly showed that he could score in his rookie season last year at Golden State. Spent 3 years in Europe, out of Temple. And with all the injuries at Golden State, got a chance to play, and actually was in the running for Rookie of the Year award. Foster checks the clock quickly, and this call goes against Indiana. Yep, Jermaine second.
Yeah, he was down on the post trying to get by Joe Smith.
And many players try to do that against the long and lean Joe Smith. But he's also adept at drawing fouls.
On that one, I would have to kind of agree with the official, because Jermaine unusually led with his arm. If there's body going in that direction, they might let him through.
Smith, who has his difficulty holding his position defensively. Here's Jonathan Bender with the steal, coast to coast, and with the left hand. Back back the other way. It's a 2-on-1. Gary Trent sets it up for Avery. And Jeff Foster will not allow Avery to get to the hoop.
No easy baskets there. Not with Foster out.
So Foster crushes Avery to the floor. There is Bender, and he puts up at least one highlight reel dunk per ball game. Was looking to get it early there, and Foster comes back, and Avery goes down. Avery came out of the draft, the '99 supercharged point guard draft. Steve Francis, Baron Davis, Jason Terry, Andre Miller, and William Avery was supposed to be also a winner, but he has languished on the bench for 2 seasons with Minnesota, getting a little more time now with the injury to Terrell Brandon. Came out a sophomore season from Duke. Why has he not made the grade?
Because they've got 2 guards that are better than Avery. First of all, Brandon, as you already talked about, and then as Austin drills that 3, you know, they were able to come up with chunks and Phillips, and Avery was really immature, I thought, even at Duke when he came out, and so fortunately he's still with the club.
Just not ready.
That, when you net it out, that's what it is. He's just not ready.
Austin Crozier coming ready off the bench again this evening. He's drilled 2 3-pointers, keep the Pacers in there, and just muscling his way in, Gary Trent. And here's another one of the cast-offs that Minnesota has picked up. You saw Mark Jackson, Phillips, and now Trent, who signed as a free agent. Minnesota, of course, punished by the league, going under the table in a deal. And there is Jermaine O'Neal with a Timberwolf on his back. And O'Neal, spirited start here in Minnesota.
Well, it was a heck of a find, because Jamal turns the corner and has Joe Smith in his face, and Jermaine is able to catch it. Smith tries to come back, catches nothing but the back of O'Neal's head as Jermaine is able to get it down with 2 hands. Great catch, because that ball was getting away.
And a very quiet 5 assists already for Jamal Tinsley, who has no question found the 2nd win, finishing up his rookie season. Very strong. And O'Neal, who has found his touch from the foul line. He's now made 15 of his last 18, stretching over 4 games. Pacers have knotted it up at 47 halfway through the 2nd quarter. Minnesota, who of course signed Joe Smith to a free agent contract, which was illegal. There is Smith with the shot. Had to pay the price. Has lost 3 first-round draft picks. Ended up re-signing Smith from Detroit, but looking to beef themselves up. Signing Trent as a free agent and maneuvering for the deal for Mark Jackson, and maneuvering inside for his first field goal, Jamal Tinsley. For the last 8 games on a scoring tear, has been averaging 17 a game. Been in double figures in 7 of those 8, shooting close to 50%. Jamal, who has been struggling with a shot all season, under 40% for the year.
Well, there are a couple things. First of all, he's worked hard on his shot, but second of all, his shot selection has been much better, and that's the reason he's been much more productive.
Shot selection came down to the shot clock there. 2 seconds, and Trent let it go. Tinsley, Crozier with a hot hand, and he fires by Garnett, and Austin Crozier hitting on all cylinders. A quick 8 points in the 2nd period for Crozier, who has scored 18 or more in 3 of his last 6 games off the bench. Now Tinsley looking both ways. Gets it inside to O'Neal. No foul there. And there is the whistle.
Nice job by the Pacers, pushing it up, putting pressure on the Wolves to try to get back.
Timeout. Off the bench. He hit 2 threes, so Garnett was out tight on him, and Austin walks right by. The floor is now starting to open up for Austin Crozier, coming alive down the stretch in the final month of the season. Perfect night so far for Crozier. One more for Jermaine O'Neal. Pacers already with 51 points, and we have almost 5 minutes to go. You know, Isaiah has been focusing on defense, and since the trade, the elements of a terrific and tough defensive team. But you know, for the last 5 games, Pacers have been averaging 105 points per ball game.
Yeah, you know, Al, it definitely happens that way, but the Pacers have always been able to score, and I think that's why Isaiah Thomas wanted to get better on the defensive side of the ball.
Pacers were trailing by 5 starting the second quarter. Jonathan Bender, and the pogo stick goes up.
Oh, just throw it up there and let young fella go try to make a play.
At 7 feet, and that gets the bench up and hysterical. Jonathan Bender, and the Pacers now by 6, and this call will be made against
Garnett.
Minnesota. Garnett.
Because he set a screen and trying to set the screen for Wally Szczerbiak. Jonathan Bender was coming off, but before he was coming off, he had to finish up the dunk. And Jonathan just got held.
Well, when you take a look at Kevin Garnett and his attributes, they talk about the new age player with wingspan and leaping ability and shoot over defenders, drive past them. Very much of the attributes you're starting to see from Jonathan Bender. He thought he was clobbered there, but the call is ball off of Bender and out of bounds. Pacers were down 35-30 to start this second quarter. They hit their first 5 shots. Now they're on a 10-2 run. Garnett heaves up the perimeter shot, and it's run down by Foster. Always churning the legs of Jamal Tinsley.
Well, he has definitely got the second win you talked about, and it's evident by the fact that he is a little quicker, even though he didn't get that one to go down.
Alex Phillips back the other way. Phillips going all the way. Turns out to be a setup for their center, Rasho Nesterovic, who has been starting all season, and this is 4th year. Phillips getting, well, it won't be an assist on the score sheet.
It won't even be an assist to the assist either.
O'Neal got pushed from behind by Gary Trent, who gets away with that one. So coming down to 3 minutes, Isaiah Thomas trying to see if his team could put a little roll together here. They have won 2 in a row. Starting to do it at Conseco Fieldhouse, where they've won 4 of the last 5. Right now in the 7th spot in the East. A game ahead of Charlotte and 2 games behind Philadelphia and Orlando. Tinsley wants to call a timeout. So Pacers with a 4-point lead in Minnesota, looking for the season. Hornets and the Pistons. Those 2 games so important for the Pacers, who are right now just a game ahead of Charlotte and 5 games behind Detroit in the Central Division lead. And Detroit about to head to a 5-game road trip. Indiana not out of the woods yet. On a run for the division. Continue to play like they've been playing the last few games. Szczerbiak, he continues to be ice cold. 2 of 7 from the field for Szczerbiak. Pacers by 4, closing minutes of the first half.
And the Timberwolves, one of the few teams playing a lot of zone. They leave Austin Crozier alone, and he drills another 3. Nice look by Tinsley to see that no one was covering on the left wing.
Austin Crozier unconscious. He had 19 against Golden State the last game. He has hit 3 threes and has 11 in the second quarter here tonight. Trent again with the push, and it stays there. Gary Trent at 6'8", 250. And uses his body and getting away with a few nudges here in the first half. Jeff Foster is back in, and a rest for Jermaine O'Neal, who goes out. Or check that. That is a...
No, I'm sorry. I was just trying to give you some sign language.
And that was?
He has 2 fouls.
2 fouls. That's what I was about to say. Isaiah doesn't want him to get the 3rd in the last couple of minutes. Oh, that goes off a Pacer, but Tinsley and Foster.
The Fisher missed it.
Adamant.
He dribbled it off the back of Kevin Garnett's foot. And the official just missed it. Now watch the rebound. All right, he gets it. Now Kevin Garnett is in front of him, and he dribbles the ball off the back of Kevin Garnett's foot, and the official, it was probably getting ready to turn to go down, but I didn't think this was even close. It's off his foot.
So Minnesota gets another opportunity. They have slipped 7 points now behind the visiting Pacers. Reggie says, you can take that 3. And he does!
Well, I'm telling you. That's really setting it. I've looked at Flip Saunders, who just kind of cocked his head to the side to kind of say, what was that?
The hot man Crozier. Brad Miller retrieves. Tinsley, he's what Phillips saying to him, you can take that one.
You take one, I take one. Reggie doing a nice job calming Tinsley down on that particular one.
It's been a long rest for Reggie Miller. Tinsley penetrates and the dish, but again, too hot to handle. A couple of passes by Tinsley just riveted off fingertips of his teammates.
Yeah, that was too hot because he was trying to get it through traffic. Had a wide open Brad Miller on the other side.
1 minute on the nose. In the half, that one, Garnett cannot hold on. Question, who will get the turnover for that? Garnett has really had his difficulties. 6 against Houston Wednesday, 7 against LA the game before.
Giving that one to the passes. That was too hot. That was like a little bit like Jamal. Too hot to handle.
Tinsley now with that low, cool and calculated dribble right in the face of his defender. And he penetrates and hits and is fouled. Jamal Tinsley makes the move inside. Suckers Chauncey Billups and may have a three-point play.
Does a good job. He's forced to his left, able to get by Trent, and Billups grabs him, but Jamal strong enough to get it to go down and goes to the foul line as well.
So Tinsley in that Golden State game hit about 5 field goals. Those little runners banking it in, kind of Mark Jackson Jr. type shots, teardrops. And he is starting to put the arsenal together offensively. One of the reasons that his shooting percentage and his scoring on the rise. 6 points now for Tinsley to go along with 8 assists. Garnett vehemently smashing it down.
He is enthusiastic about this play because on the other end, he thought he got beat. He does a nice job of locking position. Miller tries to get there, doesn't get in time. Some extra theatrics. Lets Misterovich know this was the play I enjoyed. 17 and 5 in the first half.
So that was not Miller in time.
No, that's right.
Kevin Garnett in his 7th season at the age of 25. Minnesota's all-time leader in points and rebounds, just recently passing Poole Richardson as the all-timer in assists for Minnesota. And it is 18 points in the first half for Garnett. Pacers still maintain the cushion as they have the last shot of the first half, looking for a 60-point half. It's 65 the last game. It's Golden State in the first half of play. 4 seconds to shoot. Tinsley downtown. And that will do. Garnett with the edge, but Jermaine with a very solid 13 points, both shooting 6 of 9 from the field. So Jermaine O'Neal leads the Pacers on the floor for the second half. In the last 2 games, Pacers with 65 points in the first half against Golden State, and tonight 59 on the road in Minnesota. An offensive display, and not to get too much better than that on the road for Indiana. O'Neal starts from deep.
O'Neal was near the three-point line. The play seemed like it just showed up with Jermaine, but he wanted to show Kevin that he could shoot threes too.
Chauncey Billups starting at the point guard. Hemmed in, Kevin Garnett. Rasho Nesterovic inside, and Garnett buries it. Garnett with 7 field goals, and Quinn, what are you saying? 6 more of the 7 have come from the outside?
Yeah, I would say that would be about the number. So the Pacers have done kind of what they wanted to do in terms of getting him to shoot it from the perimeter.
Brad Miller has not missed a shot, and now makes it 5 of 5 from the floor. Brad Miller with 10. He has now scored 10 points in each of his last 4 games. The only difference in this one, we still have a whole half to go. Indiana leads it by 7. Last week, a couple of sterling victories on the road against the Central Division leading Detroit Pistons and also against the Sacramento Kings with the best record in the NBA in Sacramento. Now, Pacers looking to add another notch on the road against Minnesota, a team that's won 40 and lost 24, fifth best record in the NBA. They're 23-7 on their home floor, although they have been wilting of late. Minnesota's lost 5 straight, 6 of 7, last 3 at home. Artest heats at 3, hits the side of the backboard. I mean, Ron really wants to put those threes in. That's his 4th attempt. He started the game, but has only played 10 minutes as Isaiah began utilizing the bench.
Definitely, as a shot hits the corner of the backboard, hits the top of the backboard.
That's one of the sides.
Back in play. You're right. Only you. It was the side, just the top side.
It's the top side. Pacers with the ball, leading by 7. Miller splits through, finds Artest.
He's got to shoot it.
There he goes for 2 with 2 on the shot clock. Run down, though, by Brad Miller, and a reset. 24 more seconds to work it for the Pacers. And some tougher crowds may have been voicing their opinions with the home team as Indiana able to turn it into 2.
No, they're calling Jermaine, and I think he was going to call a technical for pulling up. But Jermaine, at the last minute, noticed Nesterovic was on the ground, and if he'd have come down the way he was swinging, he'd have stepped on him, and then that's what happened. Bob Delaney walked in to see that indeed was the case, and that's why, see, he swings back, and he looks down, and that's why he holds on, because eventually he goes down anyway.
He looks down and then wonders, what was that behind me? So Indiana, and there it's the tussling inside between O'Neal and Garnett will be hit with his 2nd personal foul. So Jermaine O'Neal getting a couple of calls to go his way. And he's been waiting all season for something like that. And Flip Saunders, though, caged tiger on the sideline, has seen his team falling in the standings over the last week and a half, and now taking it on the chin again at home. Brad Miller, a perfect 6 of 6. Flip Saunders has seen enough. He calls a timeout. The Pacers' lead now grows to double figures. Tonight, he averages 19 a game, an all-star with Minnesota. 3.5 into the second half. Phillips with Artest. Gets nowhere. And Brad Miller takes it away from a driving Trent. Here is Reggie Miller. And Serbiak gets back as Reggie goes for left hand.
That's the second time Serbiak was able to get the Reggie shot. Got the one in the first half.
Reggie getting very creative tonight. Serbiak for 3, and he is just suffering with his shot. 50% shooter, one of the best shooting backcourt men in the NBA. Reggie, who has been a whirling dervish on the drive this evening, but that time repelled by Serbiak, whose father, Walt Serbiak, was a member of the Pittsburgh Condors, the ABA. So Reggie figures, I'll drill it from deep, and he does so for the 3rd time tonight. So Miller with 3, Crozier with 3 from downtown. The Pacers putting another run together, 9 straight points, and they have opened up a 14-point lead.
Perhaps they've got to be solid. It's just into the court.
Serbiak off the mark one more time. 2 for 10. Miller from downtown. He shoots.
Oh, it was down and out.
Reggie looking for an early dagger in that one. And a timeout is taken, and he thought he had that one down. So Reggie Miller had 1, looking for the back-to-back, but still Indiana off and running tonight. One of their best displays on the road this year. A 14-point lead as we come to the mid-11 on WB4. Yep, they argue, they yell, they fight, they do make you laugh. They're the New York 4 that put the Dis in Dysfunction on Seinfeld weeknights at 7 and 11 right here on WB4.
Well, I can guarantee you that part of Flip Saunders' conversation, and I'm sure Kevin Garnett's conversation, is listen, we're at home and we're close to getting blown out of the game. We've got to give a better effort on both sides of the ball. So I expect to see them here with 7:17 to go and on out to play really inspired basketball. substitution, by the way. Anthony Peeler is in for Serbiak.
Resting Serbiak, hoping that he finds his shot. In the game this year, he had 35 against the Knicks, and he had 28 in the second half. So he can steam up and hurt you in a hurry. This goes to Joe Smith, who has been invisible tonight. Gets double teamed, and there's the call. And it's against Brad Miller. Minnesota has been in the playoffs the last 5 years and been eliminated in the first round, trying to get bigger inside, so they picked up Trent and Jackson, but they are being annihilated by Brad Miller and Jermaine O'Neal tonight. They have combined for 13 of 17 from the floor and 27 points. The Pacer big men. The fake by Garnett, and Brad Miller got a piece of it from behind. Smith reaching up, no, and Artest able to squeeze the orange as he got in there and got a piece of it and then hustled out to get it. Ron Artest on the floor with O'Neal and Miller up front. O'Neal, the fake, back to Brad Miller, and tonight Jermaine O'Neal is racking up the assists.
That's good basketball there. Read the guy coming at you out of the double team, find his man both. Miller and O'Neal solid on that play offensively.
11 straight points by the surging Pacers. Garnett has to wheel away from 1-2, and then the third guy got him. Off and running Tinsley. Behind the back, he swoops in and hits, and is fouled.
Somehow he gets it to go down with a little style now. A little early for celebrating. On the road, you're playing a team, getting some things to go your way. Take advantage of that. No need to celebrate. Solid defense hand by Ron Artest, and then some terrific ball handling and a chance to get it to go down. And Jamal Tinsley looking for more. Can't get it unless he knocks down the foul shot.
Amazing that went in as he took a big shot by Trent. And that's the only kind of shot that Trent gives you.
Yeah, I was going to say. Trent doesn't give little shots.
Minnesota has not scored in the last 5 minutes. Indiana has now reeled off 14 in a row. And this is going against Minnesota. 3-second violation. Kevin Garnett, Minnesota right now falling apart at the seams. Isaiah trying to figure it out as the referees now conferring.
Wait a minute. One official is saying defensive 3 seconds. And Jermaine, just defensive 3 seconds. They call defensive 3 seconds.
Well, one official said 3 seconds and pointed the ball going in the other direction. But it is a defensive 3 seconds on Indiana, which results in a technical. Billups snaps the 14-0 run by Indiana. Now Isaiah Thomas is saying the other official blew it the other way. So Minnesota able to snap the run and get the ball back. Felipe Lopez, Flip Saunders looking for somebody. Tinsley, the length of the court. Oh, Brad Miller crunched to the floor. And the ball go back the other way. Brad Miller trying to still fight off some nagging injuries. The hip in the shoulder happened about a week and a half ago against Orlando. Felipe Lopez, 4-year man out of St. John's. Big close personal friend of Ron Artest. Now another whistle against Indiana. Jermaine O'Neal gets his third foul. We still have 5.5 minutes to go in the third. Indiana with one of their best road games of the season. That was another turnover by Minnesota. They had only 5 in the first half. And only 8 to this point, but they've been turning over 18 a game. This is the way things are going for the Pacers. Tinsley's errant pass, but Miller missing his first shot of the night after making 7 in a row. Lopez scoops in, and that's what Felipe Lopez brings to the floor, an active body. He's only averaging 2 points a game, but he's getting the call now. Flip Saunders looking for some energy.
Right, he needs energy off his bench, and that's what Felipe Lopez does.
Brad Miller, his teardrop. Scrapping inside. Garnett falls but saves it. And now it is Lopez. Through traffic. Off balance. Just almost hit that in.
Tipped it in.
Indiana now settling it down. Looking to go one over the 500 mark. Playing on the road against a team that sits 16 games over the 500 mark. We have a whistle here, foul.
They call a foul. Reggie was trying to say he was going to the basket. Officials have to make a decision as to whether he is, in fact, in the motion. You see him going inside. There's a reach. They call it a pass.
3 team fouls on the Wolves, 2 on the Pacers. Coming down to 4 minutes left in the third. Minnesota led by 5 after 1. Back door. Artest got it, and he is fouled from Reggie Miller.
What a great read with the shot clock going down. Artest faked as though he was coming to get it. Reggie is always a threat to hamper. Shot has the defense on him. Reggie throws it to the basket. You can see the contact underneath as Artest gets the basket and goes to the foul line.
And you could also see an indication here tonight, Quinn, that the players on the offensive end starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with one another since the massive trade. And tonight you have Tinsley with 9 assists. That's the 5th for Reggie Miller. O'Neal has 3 assists in the ball game. So moving the ball around, looking for their teammates. Very unselfish performance, and you see it reflecting on the scoreboard for Indiana.
Good decision. He was trying to, Jamal was trying to throw it to the post to Jermaine, but didn't have the right angle.
O'Neal gets it out. Open man Artest. Well, somebody's got to take it. And Artest, another 3-point opportunity, goes awry. Avery for 3. And that one is snatched down by Jermaine O'Neal. 15 points. 6 rebounds. His streak of double-doubles actually ended against Golden State at 8. And he had 14 points and 7 boards. But he has been on a tear of late. Garnett tries to save, but he cannot. We'll have a timeout. Pacers come back. We'll have the basketball and another attempt to open up a 20 available. And then look what's ahead. Charlotte right now a game behind Indiana. Miami is just 2 games behind, and they'll be on the road in Charlotte Wednesday, in Miami on Friday. Both games will be able to be seen right here on WB4, and then Charlotte comes to Indiana on Sunday. And Indiana, they're shooting incredible tonight, and Minnesota ice cold, as cold as the weather, especially here in the third quarter. Hit 2 of 14. That will stay there. Foul is against Minnesota. And that is the 4th on the Timberwolves. Brad Miller, near perfect night. 7 of 9 from the field after hitting his first 7 with 14 points. And
Reggie Miller, just why I don't mean to interrupt you, but I will on this occasion.
Worth it.
Reggie Miller says to the officials, we're in the bonus. They look around like they're not. And they were about to take the ball out on the sideline. Now, you know Reggie knows when there's a chance to get a foul shot. He called it. Pacers are in the bonus.
Yeah, that is his 5th on the scoreboard. It had 4 and slow to change. So Indiana heads into this game all even at 32. Couple of games behind Philly and Orlando. 1 game over Charlotte in that last playoff spot, number 8 Charlotte. But here's Miami, winners of 8 of the last 10, making their move. And the Pacers with 2 games left with both Charlotte and Miami. The lead now stretches to 20. We close down the third quarter. Zerbiak is in. Well, his passing is as far off as his shooting in today's game. Unless that was a shot.
That was a bad. He hit the back of the backboard. I thought that was out of bounds. I mean, the ball clearly hit there.
The refs are feeling sorry for Wally. Where's Wally? That's what they're saying here in Minnesota. He makes that steal and then throws it away. And now hearing it from the crowd. So Wally Szczerbiak, who has had difficulties finding the hoop with his shot and also making passes, Flip Saunders at this point may be thinking, let's just get this one over with, as the T-Wolves continue to descend, sitting on possibly their 4th straight loss at home. This is a team that won 19 of their first 21 at the Target Center. Brad Miller with 18 points. He has been held to 10 apiece in each of the last 3. And breaking out tonight with near perfect accuracy from the floor. Hard drive again by Lopez. Brad Miller gets a piece of that. Pacers off and running. It's a 4-on-3. Wide open is Miller. He shoots. And Foster scrapping for it, but the ball goes back the other way.
Reggie again looking for the proverbial dagger, has a wide open look and doesn't get it to go down.
And now it is Sam Mitchell coming off the bench, the former Pacer. And the Minnesota veteran, Flip Saunders, going to the end of his bench. Pacers led 59-52 coming into the 3rd quarter. They have outscored Minnesota 20-5 in this period. Minnesota has made 2 field goals, and we're coming down to the final minute. Mark Jackson, he loses. There's a whistle, and now Minnesota playing with Kevin Garnett on the bench. Foul is on Foster. He gets his 3rd personal.
Pacers have been doing a good job trying to get around the ball. You can see Reggie Miller get the backside of the hand of Jackson. They said before that Jeff Foster had fouled.
And Sam Mitchell ignite Minnesota. One of the all-time favorites in his 3 years in Indiana, and likewise here in Minnesota, playing his 10th year as a Timberwolf.
Very heady player, knowing there's no shot blockers in there. Sam will take it to the basket.
Tinsley looking.
Got to go to work. We had 7 on the shot clock.
10 assists tonight for Tinsley. 9 points. Brad Miller. Everything else has been going. The shot clock down there. Here's Peeler for 3. Lining up the rebound, and a fierce one by Foster, who tonight has come off the bench and in a mere 14 minutes has ripped down 6 missed shots.
He can track the ball down with the best of them.
3 seconds to shoot. Tinsley, he wants it. Final 7 seconds. Peeler on the run. Szczerbiak with a hard drive, and he finally hits. First field goal since the 1st quarter. Tinsley for 3. And that ends the 3rd period. The Pacers outscore the T-Wolves 20-9. And their lead is huge going into the 4th.
I kind of like Austin. Austin's having a pretty good last couple of games. Even though he got caught a little late getting out, and Sam Mitchell knocked down that shot. All
right, Austin with 11 points, all in the 2nd quarter. Bender behind the back, flicks the wrist, and there it is in a hurry. Jonathan Bender. Unfortunately, we do not have a winner tonight. The 4th quarter shootout. Kevin Garnett is back in. Garnett with 20 points and 7 rebounds, and he had 18 points at halftime. Pacers led by as many as 22 late stages of the 3rd quarter. 18-point lead. Minnesota, of their 5 losses, in 3 of those games, they actually had given up double figures lead, so maybe they're going to try something different tonight. Jermaine O'Neal off balance. It's Jackson, Szczerbiak, Garnett, Mitchell, and Billups for Minnesota. Garnett takes it in, and Foster, he just moves Garnett out of the way.
He went to get the rebound, and with the hips just moved him. As you said, Al, I mean, it was a pretty impressive rebound.
The rebound master, Kevin Ollie, and he penetrates inside, and another beautiful pass. Indiana just tuned up and hitting on all cylinders tonight. Szczerbiak finally connects from deep. 11 points and a struggle for Szczerbiak this evening. 4 of 12 from the field. averages 19 a game. O'Neal to a winding Jeff Foster.
It was a good read because all of a sudden Minnesota had gone to a 1-2-2 trap, moved it out half court. Jermaine got it middle, read it, and threw it weak side just as you should versus the zone.
Pacers back to 20. Fourth assist recorded by O'Neal. Mitchell, who's had the hot hand coming off the bench. Run down there by Mitchell and Jackson. And Kevin Ollie right in the face of Phillips. It'll be Minnesota ball. Well, Jeff Foster doing the feisty work off the bench. There, as you see, you know, the rebounds there is going to take it. Very Rodman-like. And there at the other end of the floor, the Foster flush. Zerbiak, fade away, got it.
Trying to light up a little bit is Zerbiak, and Jonathan Bender's got to challenge him a little bit more for him not to get the ball as opposed to playing him after he gets it. He stepped out of bounds. As soon as Austin got it, he was looking at the three-point line. He stepped out of bounds just as he started to go. Got to keep your rhythm here, Al.
Indiana looking to make it 3 in a row. You have to go back to late December. Last time they strung that many games together. Actually, it was a 4-game win streak then. You recall they thought they were going to make it 5, but were beaten New Year's Eve at home by then a real struggling Miami. Sam Mitchell bringing a little energy in his 13th season out of Mercer College. After spending several years in Europe. And he is one of the inspirational veterans on this Minnesota team. Minnesota sliced it to 16 points. Inside 9 minutes left. Pacers looking for their second straight on the road after winning in Detroit on Sunday. And we have a timeout. Isaiah Thomas wants to talk this over as Minnesota has carved 6 points from their deficit and still bloody heaving up a quick three. Zerbiak. Garnett upstairs. No. Oh, and the tip inside by the rookie Lauren Woods, who is making his first appearance. 7'1" out of Arizona. And last year at this time, he is on his way to a championship game in the end. Steals and trying to snap the Timberwolves out of it. Well, the Pacers and H.H. Gregg want to give away a 52-inch TV. Enter for a chance to win at any Central Indiana H.H. Gregg location or visit the H.H. Gregg kiosk in the entry pavilion at Conseco Fieldhouse during Pacer games through April 12th. Foul shots by Garnett. Minnesota with a mini run, 8-2 in the past minute and a half. Looking for a miracle here tonight after falling behind by 22 late in the third to the Pacers. It's a 14-point game. Bender, quick release, and there is Foster. Back to Bender, and it's foul number 4 on Garnett.
Yeah, they can't let him get away with that as much as he'd like to, but because of the length of Jonathan Bender, Garnett had little choice. Pass to him. You see he's going for the strong finish. Garnett must think he gets all ball.
No look by Foster.
Yeah, the official sees it differently. Looks as though there was some hand on it at any rate.
Jonathan Bender, Pacers looking for a little more of his instant offense that he has been providing off the bench. Golden State in the second quarter, 13 points in 12 minutes. First quarter in Philly and Memphis. How about that? 6 minutes, 11 points against the Sixers. But he makes 1 of 2 there. Pacers by 15, but feel the Timberwolves making the run. Timberwolves led by 7 with a minute to go. Wednesday night here against Houston. Houston scored the last 8 points to win it, 96-95. Mitchell cannot hold on. Foster was looking for Jermaine O'Neal, and Jermaine then turned, thought Foster was taking the shot.
Yeah, that one's a tough play to make. From this game, unless you're sure about what you're doing with it, Don't throw one thinking that he might jump. Not at this time of the game. Bringing in the steady Reggie Miller.
Uncle Reg to the rescue. Bender comes out. So Isaiah Thomas wants Miller on the floor. Jackknife jumper. There's Foster to rip away another rebound. His 10th of the evening. And you could just do a highlight reel of Foster's rebounds tonight. 13 still on the shot clock. Garnett with the 4 fouls. Isolated against O'Neal. O'Neal wants it, but doesn't fit.
It was down and out.
Basket here put a little pressure on. Zerbiak for 2, and he's got it. All of a sudden, Wally Zerbiak has caught fire. And the Wolves have sliced the 22-point deficit in half.
The first thing they've been able to do more than anything, Brad, is I'm looking at Brad Miller coming in now, is they've knocked down shots.
Zerbiak from deep. So he has made 4 field goals here in the 4th quarter. Brad Miller is back in. Isaiah Thomas going to Miller and Miller. O'Neal, Tinsley, and Foster for the starters, with Foster off the bench, place of Artest at that other position.
You can look to be patient, but you've got to keep your drive. You got to go play. Oh, he pushed him out of bounds. That's his fifth.
Kevin Garnett in a position thinking, what did I just do? And his instinct was O'Neal getting the ball to get on him, but O'Neal coming down.
And that's what surprised him. He thought Jermaine was going to knock it in the air, knock it down on the dunk, and the push might have not have been quite as noticeable under those circumstances.
No call made. Tinsley even thought there was a whistle. Going against Garnett with the 5 fouls.
Got to go. Shot clock.
2 seconds to shoot. Tinsley for 3. And the long rebound to Zerbiak. Here comes Minnesota again. Zerbiak accelerates. It's Zerbiak taking over. Isaiah Thomas has called a timeout. Minnesota looking to hold off the Wolves. Minnesota's outscored Indiana 18-9 in this 4th period. Artest with Mitchell. Miller for 3. He shoots. He scores. Reggie Miller, a damaging blow as he hits from downtown for the 4th time tonight.
It was important that it was a make. The good defense that time, but it happened to be a 3-pointer to just get the Pacers somebody getting some points on the board.
Against Golden State the other night, Pacers once 20-point lead was down to 4 as Brad Miller just wills that one in and muscles it in. But Indiana's lead had collapsed to 4 against Golden State, and then their defense just strangled the Warriors. The Pacers run out to a 13-0 run to beat Golden State in Indiana. Now trying to cut off the Timberwolves here late in the 4th. Miller and Miller. What a combination. They've combined on 34 points. Reggie, another 3. Now it's Phillips bringing it out. Phillips at the starting spot with Terrell Brandon out for the season after surgery on the fractured leg a month ago. The red-hot Zerbiak line drives that one in there. 21 now for Zerbiak, who had 9 coming in to the 4th quarter.
He's really found his range. Again, he's a guy you don't let get the ball. You got other guys on him before Woods, maybe to more or less a degree, but you don't let Zerbiak go. Tanked by Jamal.
And that is the move that we are seeing more and more. And for the 16th time this season, the rookie Tinsley has a double-double. 11 points, 10 assists. Phillips heaves at 3. Garnett with Artest running him over. Artest looking for that long rebound.
That's Jamal Tinsley doing a little anticipation. What can happen?
So it is the foul on Artest. That is the second team foul on the Pacers. Tinsley not only has the double-double with 11 points and 10 assists, he's 1 rebound away from his second triple-double of the season. Nice pass by Billups, but Woods blows the layup.
I mean, that's the way it's been going for the Wolves. They get a wide-open dunk by Lauren Woods, and he can't knock it down.
Indiana with the clock now down to 3:20. Miller fakes the 3, takes the 3,
fakes it and then takes it
and moves
over Garnett.
Mitchell from deep. There is Garnett. 2 men on him. And a late whistle there, but a foul is called on Brad Miller. You just kind of had the idea if the Pacers last time down and made the basket would have just about been the crusher. But Minnesota still with a chance. It's the 16th annual Bob Black Fitness Equipment Superstore 3-point shootout. Winners will receive 2 tickets to the Pacers-Suns game on April 5th and a chance to compete for a true heart rate controlled treadmill and a Hoist home gym. So enter today at Bob's showroom on East 82nd Street in Castleton. We send a postcard to that address with your name and age and address and phone number. Kevin Garnett trying to keep the hopes alive for Minnesota, and Indiana trying to make sure it's not another close game. The last 2 games in Minnesota, overtime last year, won by Timberwolves and 2 seasons ago. A 3-point shot at the buzzer, Malik Sealy. But right now, Flip Saunders can't believe what he's seeing. He thought his team would fire out, having lost 5 in a row in embarrassing fashion on Wednesday at home against Houston, blowing a 7-point lead in the closing minute. They did fire out. They led 35-30 after 1. With Garnett scoring 18 points in the first half. But he only has 24 now. A timeout taken.
Well, that's because Brad Miller looked to see that the Pacers did not get into their setup. They come out of a timeout knowing that the guy that Garnett's probably going to make his foul shot. This is a point where you need to make sure you're paying attention. Because I saw Isaiah Thomas saying there was a screen to be set. And execution is at a premium when you're trying to preserve a victory, if you will, on the road.
Pacers growing together, and there have been some games that have been experiences for this team, late stages, but last few games against Golden State, they came charging back, and the Pacers turned it up defensively. Detroit, Indiana in the 4th quarter, hitting their foul shots, even though they weren't making field goals there. 5.5 minutes without a field goal, but hit 8 foul shots in that span. So we're learning their lessons well. And once again, another test here. They had a big lead. It's down to 12. Looking to hold on. Artest, another 3. And it gives Minnesota the ball. Artest gone 3 happy here tonight. And Indiana able to get the ball back.
Well, I just look at Jamal Tinsley, just tell him we don't need that shot. I mean, and that's what Jamal's got to do. But Jamal has to also know that if you throw it to a guy that shoots, he's going to shoot it.
That's an option. And there is a throwaway. So Indiana, the last 2 times down, and Isaiah Thomas knows it. Opportunity is wasted. Gives the ball back to the Wolves, down by 12. They're going to try to hurry it. One thing with the Pacers, they did use some clock that last time down. Oh, Fielder way off. Oh, Woods misses another dunk.
Well, he missed that one because Jermaine O'Neal got up to him and blocked it.
Tinsley, no need to rush. Reggie Miller outside. They're calling to settle it down. And now the clock is starting to really work against Minnesota. Indiana eating up valuable Timberwolves seconds. 5 to shoot now. Now they have to hurry a shot, and not getting off a great one. Brad Miller fights, scraps, but Servia. Tinsley credited with a rebound. Has a triple-double tonight. How about that? 11 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. His second of the season. The other one came against Washington. And that was a hefty triple-double. 23 assists, 19 points, 11 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, but a triple-double by any standards outstanding. Tinsley's game's really starting to round out, but we must remember he's still in his first year. But it's nice to see it come along. And his teammates are starting to look at him to get him the basketball. That's really important.
Two Pacers with 10 rebounds, Tinsley and Foster off the bench. 11 points in the second quarter from Crozier off the bench. Foster off the bench, pounding the boards. Flip Saunders
looking for answers.
Saw his team get off to a 9-1 start this year. They were 39-18, beat the Lakers for a major victory, but since that time, they have lost 6 out of 7 coming into this one tonight, and Kevin McHale knows it's about to become 7 out of 8.
You know, sometimes you get it going bad, Al, and that's a little bit of what the Timberwolves have, but the Pacers have to come in and take advantage of that, because just because it has been going bad doesn't mean it would continue. And the Pacers have managed to put themselves in solid position here for a road victory against a team that has been playing, as you said, well for the better part of the season.
Pacers' biggest win on the road is early on against Chicago. They won by 25, so this does not approach that. Brad Miller with 22 tonight. His high as a Pacer is 25 game against Phoenix. Well, timeout, but Kevin Garnett knows he is on his way to his... Artest all over Peeler. And Mitchell walks in. Kevin Garnett not even on the floor at this point. Reggie Miller looking to get fouled. Tinsley ahead. Brad Miller all alone. A 2-on-1. He's going to take it all the way.
Brad and Sam kind of laughed at it because it was slow motion as Brad was taking it to the basket.
Pacers hustling their way to victory tonight. Let's take a look at the Chevrolet hustle board while Brad Miller's on the line. Let's get that one shot up there. Miller, all 4 from the foul line. He is the 9 of 12 from the field. Before that one, this is the Chevrolet hustle board. The Pacers actually 1 rebound shy. Garnett has 12 rebounds and 24 points. And that's his 45th double-double. Very pleased, Isaiah Thomas. He is seeing the team come together, winning games collectively. And there's so many stars here tonight. Led by Brad Miller with 23 points. Jamal Tinsley, a triple-double. Indiana comes into Minnesota and led by as many as 22, holds on for a 13-point win. And the Indiana Pacers have split the series with Minnesota, a payback after a double overtime loss at Conseco Fieldhouse in November. But
got to put 8 tenths on before they get to that, I think. There's a big debate about the 8 tenths, Al.
And this one is really not worth the debate. Garnett, who had 18 points at halftime, ends with only 24, and that is it. Pacers send Minnesota their 6th straight defeat. Isaiah Thomas and the Pacers walk off the floor, having won their 3rd in a row. They are once again over the 500 mark at 33-32. And Austin Crozier, who had 11 in his second quarter spurt. More points off the bench for Crozier, who drilled in 3 from downtown. So Indiana with the victory here in Minnesota, and will head home for a game Sunday against Atlanta. Pacers now 14-20 on the road. And you take a look at some of their road victories of late here in Minnesota, in Detroit with the Pistons leading the division, and then the victory before that on the road at Sacramento, team that had lost only 2 games at home and have the best record in the NBA. Final arithmetic: Indiana 98.
Victory here. All right, you get a triple-double. Your game is I think, much improved from when you first got here. What's the difference?
I think a whole lot of working in the gym, going in and getting a whole lot of extra shots. The main thing is just us going out playing hard as a team.
You guys played well defensively, I thought, as well. I think that's been a focus. How has that come about?
Well, we got guys that can defend on the perimeter, and we limiting guys to one shot. And I think as a group, we all locking in and just stopping people.
Yeah, Brad Miller is a guy who has kind of an odd style if you look at it, but is very effective. Talk about his importance while you're defending on the outside, how he helps you on the inside.
Well, on the inside, he's a big body. You know, guys are coming in and change their shots up. And Jermaine in the backside jumping for block shots.
All right, well, you guys are making the playoff run. Obviously, getting wins are important, but you come on the road and get an impressive win against the Timberwolves. That's got to make the team feel pretty good.
That's the main thing, playing against the Timberwolves, knowing that in the West, they're one of the top teams, and you just came out in our favor, not the whole 48 games.